Well, hello everybody. It is the Rumour Mill, your daily Leeds United chat, and as the sun closes down on this mental day of which the Championship season has kick-started again, we've seen lots, haven't we? We've seen Norwich go and get beaten and beaten well by Oxford. We've seen Leeds United 3, Portsmouth 3. We've seen Coventry get beat on the opening day, which definitely wasn't on my bingo card. Stuck by Stoke City, currently even in League One, the juggernauts for that division, the financial might of Tom Brady and co, currently been beaten by Reading 1-0. So there is a lot that's going on today in the Football League, and that's why we love and we hate it at the same time, and in equal measure. You cannot predict these two tiers really. But Leeds United today anyway, I felt, on reflection, and we're going to get into the rooms in just a little bit, but just a little bit of a development for me. Didn't really get into Rowe in the match review. Thought it was probably his worst game. I thought in a Leeds United shirt, which mental. When we've looked so steady in pre-season defensively against 3 very, very good teams. 3 teams that you'd, with the greatest of respect, put above Portsmouth in terms of calibre. But it just shows as well, pre-season is indicative of some things, but maybe not everything, and that's something that we need to take into consideration. And I do. I wasn't getting carried away from it. I was almost just like, I just couldn't believe the control we had in these games. But maybe what didn't get thrown into question in these pre-season games was being put in uncomfortable situations and having to deal with that, of which we've done last season, the season before that, and the season before that. But it felt like we didn't really face any adversity with these new lads, and I think you need adversity. We need to see what they're like, because it's a big new group of lads in general as well. Obviously, we've seen players go, and it's a different group. But Rowe, he was probably one. When I was looking at his passing out from the back, I thought, if you even got like sort of a bit more of a pressy forward on Joe, and they targeted him a little bit more there, I thought that could be a little bit of a cause for concern if that is something that teams might target. But listen, overall 3-3. When you're looking at the specifics of the game as well, I've watched it back, and Bogle and Firpo for a good 10 to 15 minutes, 10 to 12 minutes maybe. Hello, pussycat. Switch positions, and I didn't really get the benefit of that, to be honest with you. And I get it with your wingers, I'll get it with James and Alonso. Completely understand that, because you're in the offensive third, you need to discombobulate the opponent. But doing it with your fullbacks, that was completely odd, and it felt like it was very off the cuff. And if something like that is off the cuff, I'd like the managers to just tell them not to do that, especially when the shape just looked, for that period of time as well, that's when Portsmouth were getting on top. A really poor Portsmouth side as well, I have to say. With the greatest of respect, Leeds just for some reason were taking strange decisions. The passing accuracy was off. The wingers were switching positions. The wing backs were switching positions as well. It was very odd in terms of the shape of the team. Very odd to see. I think Farke has got a lot to learn, and I think I feel like we don't need to embellish on this as a fan base, but maybe I get what people are saying, and I've read the comments in the section below when it's come to the previous video, which I'd encourage you guys to look at. And I get what people are saying, and I'll bring it up. People are talking about the moments. Aronson missing right at the end, 4-3, that would have made it. Matteo Joseph missing a sitter, hitting the bar 3 times. Leeds having about 400 shots. But I understand Daniel picks the team. But guys, I don't think you could tell me what system we play, how Leeds break down teams, how we have varying ways of playing, a plan A and a plan B. I don't really see what we do. And this has always been my problem a little bit with Daniel Farke. I think with the team that he's got, and listen, I've read the comments as well, the team's not good enough. I'm reading now from portions of the fan base, and that's fine. Some of the most liked comments, the team's not good enough. Blah, 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 you're overhyping the team too much. Okay, so let's just make this into a bit of a microcosm. Is that team good enough to beat Portsmouth today? Or do we then have another excuse of, but they shouldn't have had a penalty. But we had however many shots. But we had this many corners. Because in my book, that doesn't win you the game. You have to put the ball in the back of the net. And if that's not working, if we're getting frustrated, let's say certain individuals aren't firing on all cylinders, they're not being accurate with the shooting, let's say, hypothetically, bring other players on, because you've got a good bench. You've got a bloody good bench. And I put it out on Twitter, I do wonder, and we're not throwing the toys out the pram, and someone said once again on the other video, I will always read the comments, this is an overreaction, and it really wasn't. We're trying to properly analyse the game, everybody. I'm not throwing the sort of, the toys out the pram, as I've said. I wouldn't sack Daniel Farke right now. I'm absolutely calm. I still think we'll go up. So don't read that from what I'm getting over here. That's definitely not the message. And if that is how I'm portraying the message, I can only apologise. But that's not what I'm trying to get over. I've always questioned Daniel Farke. And if you're a fan of this YouTube channel, you will see and know that I've always questioned Daniel Farke. My worry isn't just based on this game. My worry is a collection of Leeds United games of which I'm basing my synopsis, I guess. I've always thought this with Farke, that he struggles to change games tactically. He struggles to really, in my opinion, look at a game and is able to strategically take it apart. I think what Farke does is he lumps substitutes on and hopes for the best, and that's where you get all these vibey moments where you'd get individual moments from Rutter and Somerville, and they'd keep us in a hell of a lot of games, these two individuals specifically. And I understand as well that people say, well, Connor, that you get the individual moments win your games. They do as well, but you also want the sum to also win your games. You want, a systematic approach that's gonna, you know exactly how your team play in terms of a method of breaking the opposition down. How do you work out of possession? How do you work in possession? That's got to be something that Leeds United are a little bit more, it's got to be clearer. And I feel like we sort of are getting to this point with Leeds where it's like you throw mud at a wall and see what sticks. And it did stick today. Brendan Aronson, of course, fantastic. Goal at the end. I thought it was a mixed performance from him when he came onto the pitch, and I just thought it was bizarre again, Daniel taking, Nonto off, and James I thought actually played reasonably well. I thought maybe it was time for him to come off. He wasn't getting as into the game, but I understood that James was having a very good game, but Nonto was the threat. He was the main threat, and he takes both of them off and completely disrupts the game. And I thought at that stage of the game, we were really pressing on him. This is exactly what I'm talking about, everyone who maybe doesn't understand what I'm trying to get over here. He doesn't, in my opinion, know really how to change a game in the right way. And this is a seasonal thing. This isn't just based on this game. So I think he has got a lot of development there as a manager. That's my main worry. My main worry, I have to say, isn't about the squad getting us promoted. It's about Daniel Farke, and can he adapt? Can he be more pragmatic? Can he develop? Can he evolve as a coach? Because he should evolve. He's still young as a coach, still very, very young, but he's got so much tools at his disposal, and my worry is that people are thinking that the tools are blunt. The tools are not what they should be. He needs more. And of course we need a Somerville replacement. Of course we then have two others who maybe will come in. But right now, everybody, do we have a good enough squad to go up? It's not overhyping the squad. Look at what we're bringing off the bench in comparison to a Portsmouth. Okay, we should be winning that game, And this is the whole conversation with him, and this is why I think the 49ers will keep a little eye on him this season. We might go to West Brom and win. We might do, and I think we'll be the favourites for that game. But overall, I think a good manager gets this team up as champions, because I think there's enough quality there. Does Daniel Farke need even more quality to get Leeds United promoted? I think you put the icing on the cake, of course, with the promotion side, but this squad is good enough. This squad is definitely good enough. Do not think that he's not got the tools, and I'm seeing a lot of that now, which is I find that a bit odd. But after the game as well, we saw a lot of rumours linking Bashir Humphreys of Chelsea with Leeds United. Bit of a bizarre one. A central defender who was on loan at Swansea last season, can play on the right side of a defence as well. Wasn't great at Swansea, I have to say. Is part of a big Chelsea group who, we're seeing them trying to get rid of a few of their youth academy, so they can then bring in an abundance of other players. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. It's not really a profile I thought we'd be looking at. Maybe it's a case of Leeds United potentially saying goodbye to Max Verber at some stage. I don't really know. Cover for Joe Rodon. So we're not looking at James DeBarrio, because I know he plays on the right side of a back two. I kind of want us to, I think there's areas where Leeds need to improve. Not drastically, I should say, because I'm being a hypocrite, but I think it gives us more, you know, when you're looking at more sustenance in the squad, that's going to give us a better chance, of course it is. But Bashir, Humphreys, it's all right, yeah, it'll be okay. It's just, you know, we've got to look at these signings and think, are they going to be good for Leeds? Are they going to be decent additions? Yeah, that'd be okay, but I'd much rather us focus on a full-back, a central midfielder, and obviously a Cree replacement. But I do have to say and preface this with this: it shouldn't make a. If the window's shut now, I'd be a little bit like, oh god, that could have been better. But it's still top two worthy, this squad. 100%. So yeah, guys, obviously we've got as well Jonny Rowe, who refused to play today for Norwich City. We'll keep an eye on that one. 100%. Marseille seem to be the only club right now who've put in a formal bid, which essentially means that Leeds have just been talking about a £7 million figure. But it's all up in the air, everybody. But like, comment and subscribe. Check out the extended stream from earlier on. I'll see you in a bit.